Take a snapshot. The number one thing that you're going to do when you're surfing on the dark web is to have a disposable virtual machine. Now it's up to you about what you're going to choose as that virtual machine. I've got a Kali that I will go onto the dark web with, and I've got a Windows 11 virtual machine that I like to go on there with. General surfing, I like to have my Windows 11 because it's got Windows Defender and it's got firewall in there and it's got other things in there. I like to use virtual machines because you can revert to an old snapshot and remove all of the foot traffic that you did while you were in the dark web. Let's quickly review a couple of the key virtual machine features that you should be aware of. I'm going to open up my VirtualBox. I love VirtualBox. VMware Workstation is fine. Any other real virtualization solution is fine here. So let's look at my Kali here. I'm going to go to my settings, and I'm going to go to the network. Now you'll see on the screen that I've got it set to NAT, Network Address Translation. This one's really important. You're going to be using the public IP address of wherever you're routing your traffic through. So case in point, let's take a look at something here. Let's zoom out. So my Kali is set to NAT, curl ifconfig.me. Now you're going to think, wait a second, is he showing us his public IP address? No, I'm not. I have a VPN turned on, and so you're seeing the public IP address of the VPN service that I'm using. Let's go ahead and change that to anything else. I'll connect to Seattle. It says we're connected. Let's go and run that exact same command again. It's different. That's good. That means all that traffic is routing through that VPN server. That's really good. Now I'm going to go and change things a little bit, and I'm going to make my virtual machine to be bridged. And we're going to change from NAT to bridged. I'm going to use my Ethernet here. Great. Now let's do the exact same process, but now we're just going to see the public IP address of my house. You thought I was going to show that to you, didn't you? But that's the public IP address of my house. So when I am surfing the web, that is revealing where I am. So now you can see how when you set your adapters to certain things, it can reveal information about you. So set your virtual machine to NAT, and you're going to be using the same VPN that your host machine is using. So in this video, I'm not going to connect to the dark web. That's what the other video was about. This one's about staying safe. What you might want to consider doing before you actually surf the dark web is to create a snapshot of your machine just before you do that. VirtualBox is pretty straightforward. We go up to our machine and we go to take snapshot. Now you can name it whatever. Before browsing. Okay, whatever you want to call it. We're going to say okie dokie. Let's go ahead and make a minimal change just so we can see it happening. I'm going to create a text document on the desktop. All right, great. I've made a minimal change to this machine. If I were to turn this machine off at this point and turn it back on, this file would still be there. Great. Let's go ahead and revert to our old snapshot. We're going to close it because you need to kill that instance. Hit power. That's it. We're powering this thing off. Go back to your VirtualBox or whatever solution you've got and navigate to the snapshot that you just made. And so left click, and then we're going to hit restore. And I don't want to create a new snapshot. That's not what I want. But we're going to restore that snapshot. Boom, we're there. Now let's go ahead and restart this machine and see if that file is missing. It's going to be. Spoiler alert. Let's take a look at our machine, and we can see on the desktop there's no text file. Good. That's what we want. the last piece of advice that I can give you, and this is going to be unique to the environment that you set up. So if it's going to be Linux, it's going to be Windows, it's going to be a little bit different, but you need to have a firewall. Really, you should have a firewall on everything, but let's look at Windows 11 here. Firewall, Windows Defender, have that turned on. It's better than nothing. If you've got these three things working for you, you've got VPN with virtual machine, you've got a good snapshot process, and you've got something for firewall and some kind of defense on that virtual machine, then you're going to be able to surf the dark web reasonably safe, depending on what you're doing while you're there. Okay, so I guess the final thing would be making safe choices. I hope you enjoyed the video. There's some other videos on the screen that you might enjoy. Go ahead and give them a watch, and we'll talk to you soon.